Hi everyone, this is Jeff Clark of thegoldadvisor.com, and we have a very interesting video for you today. Are you looking for a copper stock that hasn't left the station yet? That's exactly what we have here. And joining me on this video is the CEO of American Pacific Mining, Warwick Smith. Warwick, thanks for joining on this video.
That's the perfect intro for me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you look at some of the stocks and the moves they've had, it's impressive. And we've had those moves in the past, but we're ready to have another one now.
I think so. And, a lot of stocks have moved. So everybody's kind of hunting around for something that hasn't left the station yet.
Yeah.
And I think we might have that here in American Pacific, when you look at the potential. So,
Let me give you yourself and your viewers sort of the value proposition here. As
yeah,
we've spent the past sort of 18 months really kind of cleaning things up and working towards all of these transactions that have just completed. And now we're ready to get out. And I haven't done a lot of this. I haven't done a lot of talking and interviews and that. And so now that a lot of this work is done, we're going to begin. So let's start here. $37 million market cap on American
mhm.
Pacific. Our last financials were the end of November. So there was 2.2 million in cash, $4 million in long-term investments, which is cash and escrow. We did a transaction where we sold Palmer to Vizsla Copper.
Uh-huh.
That stock today, this is January the 9th, is worth roughly $26 million today. We also have done a transaction on an asset called Tuscarora, which we love. It's going to a group called ICG Resources that'll go public at the end of February. That's worth about $4 million in stock. So at a $37 million market cap, you've backfilled your value with equities and cash. Plus, on those equities, there's an additional $20 million in bonus milestone payments, so success-based payments. On top of
Yes.
that, you've got Madison, which we firmly believe can be a company maker asset. High grade skarnet surface, porphyry underneath, something that's attracted majors in the past and has the hallmarks of the opportunity for big scale discovery. And we're going to get out and drill that aggressively here.
Yeah,
So,
that's,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was
Finish.
just going to say that really is the value proposition. I'll say one thing as well. I mentioned the ICG stock. So we're taking 11.5 million shares of ICG. We're
Uh,
going to take 7.5 million of those shares and distribute them to shareholders. So if you own, for every 100,000 shares of American Pacific that you own near the end of February, you'll also receive roughly 3,400 ICG shares as well. So
oh, I didn't know that.
you're going
That's
to get
great.
bonus. You're going to get a bonus on the shares that you own in what is a very well structured, well run, brand new junior company backed by gentleman who used to be the head of originations at Echelon and former director of finance for Barrick as their chairman. So
Oh,
you get
wow.
additional shares in that based on that distribution, which will take place at the end of February once we go through the vote and all those things.
So 34 shares of ICG for every 100 of American Pacific I own.
So for every 100,000 shares that you own of American Pacific, you'll get 3,400. So 0.34%.
Oh, gotcha,
So
gotcha.
3.4%. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
0.34.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a nice little surprise, a nice treat. Thank you.
And it's a good one as well. I mean, one of the things that we've done here is we've started to build this basket of equities, which we're not done. We'll look to add to this as well. But that basket of equities, we have focused them on being incredibly high quality. If you look at Vizsla Copper, you've got Craig Perry running that. He's taken
Yeah.
three mining companies over $1 billion. He's done an excellent job. And now they've taken on Palmer. They've raised $44 million and they're going to go do an aggressive drill campaign there.
Yeah.
So that's one. ICG, I've just mentioned, and the background of the pedigree there. They've got some big shareholders backing that as well. We're going to do additional transactions. We've got three
Oh.
projects. We've got Ziggurat, we've got Gooseberry, which we just updated the 43101 on, and then we've got Red Hill as well. And so we've got a couple of other opportunities to transact there to build out this equity book, which is already virtually backfilling the entire value of the company.
That's fantastic. Boy, there's so many questions running through my head here. But you mentioned Red Hill. So can you
Mhm.
tell us is Red Hill going to be explored this year? Is that a transactional thing or whatever you can say? Maybe you can't detail that,
Yeah.
but
So we've had Red Hill for a while. It just hasn't been part of the focus for American Pacific because of all the assets that we've had. So let me describe it. It's in Nevada and it's one of these Carlin style systems. So it was drilled in 2006 by Barrick, where they drilled down 650 meters and they had roughly 25 meters of roughly 5 grams, and then it was about 10 meters of 8 grams. At that depth at that time they went, it's too deep for us, we're not interested. Well, flash forward to 2026, 20 years later, and they're realizing that these Carlin systems are stacked, so you start going down, you get down deeper, you're getting things like 4 Mile. I mean, these are the 10, 20 million ounce deposits, and this is what they look like. And so this asset is incredibly compelling, potentially an interest for a major. We've worked with the likes of Dowa Mining and Metals. We've worked with Rio Tinto. We've worked with Oceana. So we're familiar with how to work with majors as we go along. We think that could be a great fit for one of those groups. And
mm,
so we'll see how that shakes out here over the next while.
that's great. And then let's go back to Madison because, in my opinion, that's kind of the big prize here, at least at this point in time. Maybe you disagree,
No,
but
I don't
Warwick,
disagree
can
at
you
all.
summarize what happened in 2025, specifically how the drilling is connected to historical mines that have been there at Madison,
Yes.
and you've got some indicators that there's a porphyry underneath that, like you mentioned. So, can
Yeah.
you walk us through 2025 and then what you're going to do with Madison going forward here in 2026?
Absolutely. We believe Madison can be the company maker. That's the first
Yeah,
statement. We
that's what yeah.
absolutely believe that it is the flagship for this company. There's a slew of smaller mines across Madison. And Madison is 4 kilometers by 2 kilometers, so it's a good size. The bulk of the drilling has been done on a small portion, which is the Madison mine, and right next to it is what is known as Broadway. So for context, Madison has produced in 2008, 2012, produced 2.6 million pounds of copper, between 20 and 35% copper, incredibly
That's
high grade.
that's amazing. Yeah.
And then 7,500 ounces of gold at 16.1 grams per ton gold. That's Madison. Next to it is Broadway. Broadway produced from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. 144,000 ounces of oxide at surface at an average of 9.9 grams. Let that sink in. I mean, you're at, getting good oxide deposits at a gram now, and you're jumping up and down. This was at 9.9.
Yeah.
And so the thesis for some time was that they didn't connect because it didn't go straight across. So when we actually, to give some credit here, Rio Tinto's last hole was down in between and they hit 7.6 meters at 10 grams. We went back in this year, twinned it along this direction. And what it shows now, because we hit down there and we hit, I'm going to cuff the grades, but it was 5, 6 meters at 12 grams. It's now shown where these two mines are. There is a plunge that rakes like this and kind of dips
Oh,
under. And that connects those two mines. So that was incredibly exciting and a great drill campaign by the guys to be able to put that together. What happens now in terms of, I'll start with the two mines and then the skarn potential, and then I'll talk about the porphyry. We'll look to tie those two together. But on top of that, on that 4 kilometers by 2 kilometers, there's showings, high grade showings all across at surface, both look skarns and CRD potential as
and
well.
this is between the two deposits. That's your point.
No, this is actually on the outlier. So
Oh,
I'll use my
okay.
phone. It's always good to have a prop, so I'll use my phone. If this is 4 kilometers by 2 kilometers, here is Madison and Broadway in this square.
Yeah,
All across here, there are showings. And so we are
gotcha.
going to drill across to start to tie this entire thing together as a resource. We will do drilling between Madison and Broadway, but we are going to drill along here as well.
Gotcha.
That is going to put us in a position where we can start looking to put a resource together on Madison. That's going to be part of the key. Shallow, high grade, that's what we're looking for. And
And
that's what
it
it's
could
given
be
us in the
bigger than
past.
what the historical, mining operation was.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we're looking for something much larger than what the historical operations were.
Okay.
Um, in regards to the porphyry. So there are all these big intrusive centers at depth, and all of our data points show that they're pointing in one general direction. And this has
Ah,
never been drilled. And so this is near the Madison Broadway. So we will drill through the skarn down to depth. Think Hercules, I think, is probably the best example here. Hercules had 300 holes into it. It was about a $40 million market cap. Then they drilled that deep hole and they got into the
yeah,
porphyry.
and hit.
It was a
Yeah.
$400 million market cap. We will be taking those drill shots as well.
Oh, that's exciting. And
I'm
so
gonna
how deep do you have to go there, do you figure, Warwick, to test the porphyry?
2,000 feet,
2,000
600
feet.
feet. Yeah, yeah. So
Ye-
deep, but not too deep. So we'll get a
Right.
couple of drill shots into that as well. I'm going to show you this because I've enjoyed showing this over the course of the day. This was a gift from one of our directors. He went underground at Madison back in the summer. He got this and saved it for me. We just had a board meeting in Nevada. This is from the underground. Should translate over a
Yeah.
little bit. But if you look at that, that is 40% copper.
40% copper.
And he's
Wow.
pulled that off of the just from the underground workings. And he's put a note on here, I think, to remind me, but it says nothing beats grade.
Boy, that's
So
sure true. That's great. Boy, you can just almost see the potential here.
there's Madison's always given us massive potential, and now it's on us to go out and aggressively get after this. So we'll do a $5 million campaign here starting Q1, beginning of Q2 to get in and drill this and drill it aggressively. That's the game plan. Look at Faraday
Gotcha.
Copper, look at Vizsla Copper. They've had huge moves. Now it's our turn to start getting out and getting aggressive on this project to give American Pacific
Oh yeah.
shareholders the
Yeah.
same
All it
the
takes
same
is
benefit.
another discovery to show how big this potentially could be, and you'll be off to the races.
Well, partially that, absolutely, and then two, getting out and reminding people of what it is because you're now completely backfilled with value in terms of $26 million in
Yeah.
Vizsla Copper stock, $4 million in ICG stock, $20 million in potential bonus payments with success, and a $37 million market cap.
Yeah.
We've got to
Yeah.
get out and start storytelling as well and get people excited.
So, do you have a sense for how many meters that'll be at Madison this year, or number of drill holes, or anything like that yet? Or
Yeah, so we're refining it as we speak. So there's two drill permits that we want. We have one that gives us 7 of the 12 locations that we want to drill. We're just waiting on that second one, and then we'll put out meterage. That's the game plan. But roughly 15 holes to start in the skarn, 2 to 4 deep holes on top of that as well.
gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha.
Yep.
So, Warwick, what we have is the massive potential at Madison. We have the
Mhm.
two transactions that you did this past year, where you have equity holdings in both of which have potential. Then you have the Red Hill, maybe some other outlying projects there. Um, there's a lot in place here, a lot that could happen. So, could you tell us what 2026 is going to look like, what your plans are, at least for the year?
Absolutely. Drill Madison aggressively, probably 2 drill campaigns this year. Uh,
Hmm.
More transactions. So
Okay.
there's Ziggurat that we still own. That sits in between a Round Mountain and Northumberland in Nevada. That's a really interesting asset. We think we can transact there. Red Hill, which is a deep Carlin system. We think we can transact there with an interesting group. And then Gooseberry, which is a past producing silver gold mine just outside of Reno. We just put an updated 43-101 out on that as well. So there's 3 potential transactions there that we're going to look to do to keep
Wow.
building this equity book, but build it with the right groups that have been successful that we believe can execute,
Yeah.
that are both technically competent, but also have the right shareholders and financiers to move the companies forward.
Yeah. And you
So
have the cash to go ahead and drill Madison yourself, your own project.
we have both equity and cash. We are aggressively ready to get out and start moving Madison forward.
That's great. This is all very exciting. So I wish you the best. Full disclosure, everyone, our American Pacific is a mining of our sponsor of our website. So they do support it financially. I am a shareholder. I am overweight the stock because I believe in the potential here. So take that for what that's worth. So, um, Warwick, any final comment you want to add on to investors as they think about American Pacific here for 2026?
Yeah, I think it's been a busy 18 months, but it hasn't been as market forward facing as it's going to be. Now that we have built up all this equity book, We've consolidated claims down at Madison that were previously owned for 100 years before us. We were
Wow.
able to go and stake those claims, so we've tightened that up. There's an opportunity here now for us to go and drill at Madison to create excitement and start working towards putting together a resource, but also take those deep shots, which can help the company, move from 10x to here with success. All
E-
of that backfilled by a tremendous amount of value in some mining companies that are well financed and incredibly well run by strong management teams. So
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
time to
Yeah.
get aggressive.
Yes, great. Good for you. We'll be watching. Warwick, we wish you the best. So check it out. American Pacific Mining, both trading in Canada and the US. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks, Warwick.
Thank you, Jeff. Much appreciated.